Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today, we're diving into a serious and controversial topic that's making waves in Nigeria and beyond. The indigenous people of Biafra, better known as IPOB, have released a bold statement accusing the federal government of not just mismanaging justice, but actively weaponizing it against their leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They are calling him a prisoner of conscience and claim he is being unlawfully detained. Let's unpack the story. According to IPOB, the government's case against Kanu has effectively collapsed. The group alleges that during a recent court proceeding, the prosecution's witness, referred to as PWBBB, admitted under oath that no investigation report exists to support the charges brought against Kanu. If true, this is a major blow to the government's credibility and raises questions about the entire legal process surrounding this case. In their official statement, IPOB describes the prosecution as desperate. They say the government, rather than admitting the case has no merit, is using the media and certain narratives to shift public focus away from what they call an embarrassing courtroom moment. Instead of reporting on the cross-examination blunder, the media is being accused of promoting irrelevant distractions. One of these distractions, according to IPOB, is the sudden emphasis on the certificate of Ahmed Gulak, a former aide to ex-President Goodluck Jonathan who was killed in 2021. The group argues that the government is trying to connect Kanu and IPOB to Gulak's death, despite the fact that the killing occurred a day before any IPOB observance or sit-at-home order. To quote IPOB spokesperson, Emmanuel Powerful, the death certificate of Ahmed Gulak has no evidentiary value whatsoever in the context of the ongoing trial. They further allege that the prosecution, led by senior advocate of Nigeria, Owamalo San, attempted to reintroduce this evidence after already closing his examination-in-chief, a move IPOB describes as dishonest and unethical. This kind of legal maneuvering, if true, is highly irregular. Normally, once a prosecution closes its examination-in-chief, it cannot go back and reopen that phase unless the court allows it under extraordinary circumstances. So, the accusation here is not just about politics, it's also about serious legal impropriety. Now let's talk about the timeline. According to IPOB, Gulak was killed on Sunday, May 30, 2021. Their remembrance sit-at-home order was observed the next day, Monday, May 31st. They argue that trying to connect a murder that happened before their planned observance to their group or leader is both illogical and malicious. This point is crucial. If IPOB's timeline checks out, and many sources confirm it does, it brings up a bigger question. Why is the death of Gulak still being tied to Kanu or IPOB in court or in the media? Is this an attempt to tarnish their image? Or a move to prolong the trial? At this point, it's important to remember that regardless of your views on IPOB or Biafra, everyone deserves a fair trial. If evidence truly does not exist, and if prosecution witnesses are backtracking under oath, that should be a matter of national concern, not something to be swept under the rug. This also speaks to a larger issue: how media narratives are used to shape public perception. IPOB accuses mainstream outlets of ignoring the courtroom drama and instead flooding headlines with unrelated stories. If this is happening, it's not just a disservice to IPOB, it's a disservice to truth and accountability. In politically sensitive cases like this, transparency is essential. When public trust in institutions is low, the only way to preserve democracy is to ensure justice is seen to be done. Silence or distraction can only breed further division and suspicion. To be clear, I'm not here to take sides. I'm here to present facts, raise questions, and encourage critical thinking. The story of Nnamdi Kanu, IPOB, and the Nigerian state is complex, emotional, and deeply political. But we owe it to ourselves, and our audience, to examine every side of the story honestly. So, what happens next? IPOB is demanding Kanu's immediate release and a full dismissal of the case. The government, meanwhile, continues to press forward. But in the court of public opinion, things are shifting, and stories like this one will only amplify the demand for truth. Let's hear from you. What do you think about IPOB's claims? Do you believe the government's case is crumbling? Or is this just political theater playing out in the courtroom? Leave a comment below, but please, keep the conversation respectful and grounded. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. We'll continue following this story as it develops. Until next time, stay informed, stay critical, and always seek the truth.